So here's a big question for you. How does any business survive when its customers are always one step ahead? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into here. We're going to break down operations digital transformation, basically how companies are totally reinventing themselves to keep up and maybe even get ahead in this crazy digital world.
All right, so to really get what's happening right now, we've got to take a step back and see how we even got here. You know, the story of how businesses talk to their customers, it's really a story about how technology has completely changed the game for human connection itself.
And wow, what a journey it's been. I mean, think about it. It started with just word of mouth. Then you had shopkeepers with these big physical ledgers manually tracking what people bought. Then came the 80s and spreadsheets, which back then felt like a massive leap forward. But today, phew, we're talking artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, even blockchain. The game isn't just different, it's been completely rewritten. We're not just looking back at what happened anymore, we're trying to predict the future.
And all that tech, it's created this huge power shift, which brings us to today's reality. And in this reality, there's no question who's in charge. The customer is totally in the driver's seat, and they are navigating this whole new world on their own terms.
I mean, think about your own shopping habits. By the time you walk into a store, or even just click on a website, you've probably already done a ton of research, right? You've checked reviews, compared prices, you basically know what you want. This whole digital disruption thing, it's not just some buzzword. It's the new normal, and it's forcing every single business out there to rethink their entire strategy from the ground up.
Which brings us right to the heart of it all, digital transformation. And let's be super clear here. This is not just about buying fancy new software or the latest gadgets. It's about fundamentally remaking your processes using technology. The whole point? To make everything smarter, faster, and way more effective for the people who are actually face-to-face or screen-to-screen with your customers.
So this really lays out the choice every business has to make. Are you going to be reactive, wait for a customer to complain or for something to break before you do anything? Or are you going to be predictive, using data to figure out what your customers need, sometimes before they even know they need it? And let's be honest, in today's market, if you're just reacting, you're not just standing still, you're falling behind. Fast.
Okay, but hold on. If that choice seems so obvious, why on earth do so many companies fail at this? Well, that question gets us to the real drama of this whole story. Because it turns out, just throwing money at shiny new technology is not the answer.
And this is what I find so fascinating. It just cuts through all the hype you hear about tech. The research on this is absolutely clear. The biggest, toughest hurdles in a digital transformation, they have nothing to do with the technology. They're all about people. So what does it actually take to succeed? Well, first off, you absolutely need support from the top dogs, the execs who can champion the vision. Then you've got to get every single department on the same page, working together. No more silos. You need some clear rules of the road to guide everything. And you have to get your employees on board, make them feel like part of it. But here's the real kicker, the hardest part of all. You have to change the culture. That means getting rid of that, but we've always done it this way mindset and embracing constant change and learning. Seriously, without that human side, the most amazing tech in the world is just useless.
Just look at Amazon. Why are they so dominant? It's not just their website or their crazy fast shipping. It's because they've built an entire culture that is obsessed with the customer, and they use technology to power it. Every single recommendation, every saved address, that buy it again button, all of that is tech designed to do one thing: make you feel like they get you, they know you. It's a perfect example of a human-first culture just supercharged by tech.
All right, so we've seen where things can go wrong. Let's switch gears and talk about the playbook for getting it right. How does a company actually pull off this massive, complicated, but totally necessary change?
Well, the best practice is really give us a clear roadmap. Step one is always getting everyone on board. And I mean everyone, from the person answering the phones all the way up to the board. Next, like we said, you've got to have that executive support pushing things forward. But the most important thing? Through this whole process, your North Star, the one thing you never lose sight of, is what the customer actually needs. And finally, whatever tech you build has to be easy to use and flexible, because let's face it, your customers' needs are going to change again tomorrow.
Okay, so you do all this hard work, the planning, the money, that really tough culture shift. What's in it for you? What's the big payoff at the end that makes it all worthwhile?
Well, the impact is huge, and it's happening literally everywhere. This isn't just for some tech startup in Silicon Valley.
We're talking about a complete reshaping of healthcare, retail, manufacturing, even government and education. You name the industry, it's being transformed.
Let's make this super real. Take healthcare. AI isn't there to replace doctors. It's there to give them superpowers. Imagine an algorithm that can scan thousands of x-rays in the time it takes a doctor to look at just one, and it points out things that a human eye might miss. What does that mean? Earlier diagnoses, better treatments, and people getting healthier faster.
Or how about a factory? Companies are putting these tiny little sensors, that's the Internet of Things part, on all their machines. It basically creates a virtual copy of the whole factory on a computer. Then AI can watch everything in real time and predict, hey, that part is about to break, before it actually does. So you fix it before the whole line shuts down. The result? Things run smoother, you get fewer mistakes, and the stuff you make is just better.
And for us as customers, one of the biggest wins is just access. The new minimum expectation is 24/7. We expect to be able to get help, buy something, track our order whenever we want, day or night. And it's digital transformation that makes that whole seamless experience even possible.
So, you see, it all comes back to the customer. In the end, this isn't really about being more efficient or saving a few bucks. It's about making customers happier, building a real connection with them, and turning someone who just buys something once into a true fan, someone who will tell all their friends about you.
And that brings us full circle, right back to the big question we started with. As you think more about all this, just keep asking yourself, how can this transformation really serve the customer? And what does that tough but incredibly rewarding journey actually look like for a real business today?